to Soul Star Radio. I'm Jacquelene Close-Moore, and I am today coming to you live from Whittlesea Chinese Medicine Clinic in Whittlesea, Victoria, Australia. And I have with me, of course, our resident doctor, Dr. Anthony Holding. Hello, Dr. Anthony.
Good morning, Jacqueline, and thank you again for having me on.
Very welcome. And we're going to talk about, we've been talking about the 5 elements in the traditional Chinese medicine as far as constitutions go, and you're doing a lot of work on that and continuing to study, so I won't, because we were talking about interactions, but
that's right.
We're not going to go into the super advanced stuff today.
Yeah.
We're going to sort of stick to different things here. We're also talking off air about when patients have a bit of an unrealistic expectation, I guess, of their practitioner, and how you kind of manage that, because I guess the patient has to be invested in wanting to be well as well.
Absolutely, and that's probably the million-dollar question, Jacqueline, is, first of all, they ask me how many treatments does it take?
64.
I learned a long time ago, I'm honest with my patients. I tell them straight up.
Yep.
I have no idea how many treatments it's going to take, depending on their condition, of course. All I ask them to do is to commit to 3 treatments, and that's to see if they're going to be responsive to acupuncture, because I'm an acupuncturist first and foremost, and a herbalist second. So I only introduce the herbs on the 2nd or 3rd appointment, if need be. But I'm honest with them, and I tell them straight up, I don't know how many treatments it's going to take. 1 in 70 patients will sit in my chair, and we can fix them with 1 treatment.
Yep.
But of course, it often depends on what they're seeing me for. Because we treat such a wide range of conditions, from fertility to broken toes, like children respond way better than you and I. Children's constitution is much quicker. They'll respond within a week or 2 weeks. In fact, the response is measurable on the bed with children, particularly using very fine filament needles or acupressure, which is our most commonly used for children because they're easy to use. It's easy to do using acupressure. And the response in children is measurable by the glow of their eyes. I always say to the parent, look at their eyes before I put them on the bed. And the parent is in the room, by the way. And I said, when we finish in 20 minutes' time, have a look how clear their irises become, how colourful their irises become, and how it's like a veil gets lifted off them.
Yeah.
Now, the same thing happens to us older people, but it's not as pronounced.
Yeah.
But with children, it is definitely. But it then comes back to how many treatments. With children, it's less, of course.
Yeah.
Treated a lovely young guy 2 weeks ago with psoriasis all over his body, 11-year-old. He's had it for a long time. 1 treatment, we had a measurable response on the bed.
Yeah.
The mother was on the phone in tears this morning saying, I can't believe the response. We've gone down every other road. We finally came to you as an acupuncturist. I've mixed up a herbal preparation of Qing Dai and Sorbeline cream. Now, Qing Dai is a rock that we grind down to make paint with. Yeah. Actually, Leonardo da Vinci's favourite colour, Qing Dai. Mm-hmm. But it's got a very good cooling effect, and it just works beautifully on the skin. Most skin conditions respond to Qing Dai and a Sorbeline base. Now, I put a sample on that young man's leg while he was on the bed for 20 minutes. Yeah. It went from really hot and itchy to really cold. The little boy was almost in tears because he felt amazing just using something natural and something simple. Added together with acupressure on a few key points, he danced out of here.
It really works also, I find, with spiritual energies. And so if someone's either ungrounded and you've seen me after I've been at an expo for 2 days, I've been appearing somewhere and reading for audiences, on stage, and then also doing one-to-ones and driving, 600 kilometres each way sometimes. And you've actually gotten me in quite an interesting, I would call it a jello state.
Yes.
Into more of a solid state.
Yes.
Back to being reconstitutionalised.
Because we have to live here on this earthly plane in a human form, so we need to function like that. So we bring Jacqueline back, bring her back to here, not up there. So yes, that's another function of acupuncture, of grounding.
When I'm looking at people's auras, we look at the left-hand side of the body, and I see it as the future is, the left side. So as I'm facing you, this is obviously you're looking at the right, but it's my left. So I see the future from under the feet travelling up, and then this is a few months, and then this is right now, and then this is maybe a few months, weeks, and then that travels right down there. Does Chinese medicine have that theory of energy travelling up through the left and down the right, or how does that work?
No, that's the first I've heard. It's very interesting. Not heard that, but it does actually make sense. Thank you for that. I'll actually put that into practice this week. I'll actually take more notice.
We tend to teach each other a hell of a lot anyway.
Absolutely.
I started off as your meditation teacher, and you've ended up as my practitioner. And we talk about the spiritual journey, and today's a bit of a teaching show.
Yeah.
And so it can literally take that full circle. And of course, Dr. Anthony, you've gone way on to massive university studies and getting your whole traditional Chinese medicine degree, and you've been flat out ever since. So it's really, it's really fantastic for you. But I just find, as a psychic and as a spiritual person, that energy clearing that's possible through acupuncture is quite amazing.
And can be very profound. And thank you for your nice comments about my new career. It's one of the best things I've ever done. Is I've been a naturopath for 30 years.
Yeah.
But about 12 years ago, I decided to not jump ship, just add another string to my bow and study acupuncture. And as you know, in Australia, it's a 5-year full-time double degree course. Lots of clinic hours, lots of study, lots of research. I went to China twice. The first time, of course, was to Beijing, and I studied lung conditions and the Chinese health system.
I find it hilarious you're in Beijing, which is highly polluted, and you're studying the lungs.
I know, how hilarious, right? But where else would you study lungs but in a lung problem, smog and smoke? And then the second time I went back for 4 months, and I worked as an intern at Nanjing General Hospital in Nanjing, and I was there for 4 months. And if you're going to learn Chinese medicine, you'll learn it from the masters, and that is in hospital by the greatest gurus of acupuncture and herbal medicine. And the beauty of the Chinese medical system is every doctor is not only trained in Chinese medicine, they're also trained in Western medicine. So they're like 34, 35, 36 when they graduate, and that's after doing several years of university and quite a few years as an intern under a professor. The interesting thing with myself as being a mature age student going over there with my grey or lack of hair, they elevated me to professor level as soon as I walked into the hospital, where I merely was just an observing student. It opened many doors.
Yes.
But just the way the Chinese Asians treat the older grey people. But I learned a hell of a lot from them. Being over there in China, I would advocate anyone studying acupuncture or Chinese herbs or anything to do in our industry is to go and spend some grassroots time with the people that put it out there.
Yep.
Now, comparing back from the major hospitals, you have these barefoot doctors that work from village to village. That is something that I'm striving to do or would like to do. Time will tell me whether I'll be able to get in and do that one. But that's just working grassroots, and you don't actually need needles. We spoke about acupressure before.
We were talking about the energies that move through, and we've also been talking about how acupuncture and certainly there's a spiritual component to it that you're having to work also within traditional medicine Australia guidelines. But so I thought we'd just maybe get you to show acupuncture being done on me, who used to be terribly afraid of needles, and just how effortless it actually is, because it actually doesn't hurt. Because a lot of people go, oh, acupuncture.
Well, the biggest problem we have is that they are called needles, and when you mention the word needle, immediately a patient thinks of a hypodermic syringe. Now, the beauty with what we do is if a GP poked a hole in a piece of paper with a hypodermic syringe, 10 of mine fit in the same hole. That's how fine they are. So once we got through the consultation, we take them into the treatment room, they're still shivering and quite fearful. But once we put the first needle in the patient and they realise that there is no pain involved, you can see them just completely melt on the bed. So what was the question?
Well, it took me a decade to actually cope with the idea of having a needle. And it was actually a Chinese massage person that said, you sure you want to try acupuncture? I'm like, And I said, look, how about I just do one needle? I mean, actually, fair enough. All right, I'm going to do one needle because, and, they put the needle in and I went, oh, okay. All right, then.
Thank you for having me on again.
Absolutely wonderful. Always wonderful chatting with you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone, for watching and chatting, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.